Hello all. Today we are going to be looking at what's in the box of Bot Factory from Eagle Gryphon Games. Here's the back. There's an example kind of a setup. Here's all the little other information. 1 to 4 players, 14 and plus, 30 to 60 minutes. So let's go ahead, get this open and see what is inside. So here we have it. Let's look inside. Up first we have the rule book. The introduction, all of the components, and how it's set up with little numbers and letters that correspond over here. First time you play. And then how do you play? The 3 phases, how the game ends, moving workers, performing actions, moving Sandra's actions, solo only, and then it goes over each board individually, and at the bottom it covers Sandra's action and the solo action. So here's the second board. There are 4 boards in total. We will be looking at those here very shortly. And then go to the next page, which is the 4th board. And then at the end of turn, you can only have that. Here's how the game. Here's the end of the game. Here's the 3rd phase, the maintenance phase, and then the final scoring. Summary of 2-player changes. And then finally we have inspection, which is a solo variant. How to set up, the components you need for it. There's the board setup, how to play, end game, test tiles, explained. Here's the credits. Then on the back you have variant 1, variant 2, and then extra little tiles that came with it for that variant. Here we have the different boards. This is the first board. You have your little wooden robots up there, laying the tiles on here, taking actions. There's Sandra's actions. Here's an executive action. The parts on the back of this board is your score track. Here's the second board. This has a little moving wheel. You'll have your little parts up there. There's the executive action on this board. There's Sandra's action. There's the spots. This is a little tracker because as you come here you get movement points. They give you a little cube so you can keep track of it there. And again, this spins. And on the back you got that. And we're to our 3rd board. This is where your contract or your orders basically are going to be that you need to have to actually build and fulfill the robots. Here's your spots. Down here is basically your universal parts that you'll make. There's your executive action. That's how you get them. And Sandra's. And there's the back of that board. And now we're to the final board, which this is where the contracts are. The value of your robots at the end of the game. There is no executive action. There's Sandra. And then there's the worker spots. And there's that. So here is the bottom, or the insert I should say. Has that plastic cover, and then each part of these come out, and this comes out. So we will get this stuff sprawled out and show you what this all looks like. So real quick, I'm going to go over where I have all of the components in this box There is no sheet that comes with that like points to where things go, so it did take a little bit of quick like looking and thinking on my part. So for those of you who aren't sure, here's what it is. So all your player pieces, your speech bubbles, and your little worker guys go up here. I just have my extra wooden bits in here. So this Sandra meeples and all that, and the little cubes. Here's the solo guy, and these two are the solo components here. This is those variant tiles. Right here are the contract tiles. Here's the little blueprints here. Then I have the purple, or the universal, then the green, the red, the blue, the green, the red, the blue, the yellow, and then the green, yellow, blue, and red meeples robots there. So that's how I set up my box. Everything fit exactly where it's supposed to. It's nice and flush. They also do say that when you do the punch boards, if you want this sitting flush with the top here, you basically add the punch boards until you're sitting well, and then it's going to be right up against the box lid. I haven't really had any issues though, because they did give you this nice cover. Alright, so now we're going to look at all of the components that were in the box outside the boards and rulebook that we've already looked at. So here are your player pieces, the one worker and the speech tokens, and there's an extra speech token for each color. So you see there are 9 speech tokens in a worker. That's in orange, yellow, blue, and purple. And there's the orange one. Next up we have the little robot guy over here. Is for that variant, as are these tiles that are surrounding him. This little cube here is to keep track of those movements that I showed earlier. This is Sandra, and this is the Kickstarter exclusive Sandra meeple in the whitewood with the token. Here are the robots, screen printed on one side, the other side is blank. Here are the cool little translucent parts that keep track of their value on the board. Here are the universal parts, and their back shows a little purple stripe. Here are the parts and the backs of their pieces for all these. You get 4 of each body part of each color, 2 each of the universal. Here are the contracts, or the blueprints that you need to build the robots. That's their back on all of these, and there is 6 of each. Here are the actual contracts, which will be end of game points. At most 2 people can go. Whoever goes first gets the higher value. They put their little speech bubble by that. Second place gets that, and you need to be able to put a robot of each color, or one color in this instance, on each one to score the points. So in instance for these 2 here, you would need 2 green robots, a yellow, and a blue. We'll now move on to the solo components. There's your little solo guy. I have not played the solo, so I'm not quite sure what these components are for yet, but here's these. The back shows that. Here's the 4 robots. The back shows that. Here's these pieces. And then here's the 1, 2, 3, and 4. And blah. So again, that is what's all the components in Bot Factory from Eagle Gryphon Games. So I will now go out and tinker with some robots. See you later.